I already hogged out this piece. The reason is there was a lot of rust underneath it. The plate was a little bit thin here and there. So better than try to patch it all up. Just make one piece. And already put some well-through primer on there. It's quite a straightforward. Do I have it the wrong way around? I don't think so. It is a quite straightforward piece, so and this is the reason I like these discs. These Flexo Fit Mega View discs. You can exactly see what you're grinding, and that makes these absolutely a must-have if you're doing stuff like this. And after it's almost flat, then I'm going to use a other tool. Well, that was the last pump. Let's see how it looks. Are you ready for it? Oh. That doesn't look too bad. Even these dimple things, This doesn't look too bad. This is really useful. The only thing I think I have to do is bend this lip with a brake or something, and then just press this stuff. Let's see if I press it in these areas where those dimples are. Maybe I can give it a little bit more, just a little bit more depth. Let's have a look on the car. I already was getting ahead of myself, but this is our piece, and as you can see, it matches up quite nicely. Maybe if you're a little bit more like this, it's better visible. Is it perfect? No, it isn't. This is a 1mm plate. Normally I always use 1.5. The benefits is that, well, in this case the bottom piece is also 1mm, so it doesn't matter too much. You have a little bit more meat to grind off, and that's why I normally use 1.5. But I tried 1.5. I tried, well, this is the 1.5. It just not there completely. It also destroyed my mold. You can just see that it's just dented in there. So I printed this with 4 walls and top and bottom and 20% infill. So I do think if I want to make it 1.5mm, I have to use maybe 50 or maybe even more. But also, I don't know if a slicer can do this. That's something I maybe have to look into. That you can say that most of the force is on these bumps and maybe these ridges. Maybe you can, in your slicer, can say that maybe only this piece is solid and this piece is solid and the rest is. But that's something I have to look into. Maybe something with walls that I can tinker with. But that is maybe something, well, to look into. As you can see, this one is just, as you can see, this one is just dented in there. Everything for science. I am definitely a lot wiser now. So this is one tool I'm definitely going to use again. It is a learning process. So let's cut this out and set it into place. Well, it has been a while after well, the last scene. I don't even know exactly what I have filmed before this. I do think it is a couple of months later. I had stuff to do, and that didn't have to do with, well, the Corolla or any other things in the shop. Well, that's not completely true. Uh, I wanted to focus my attention on the plasma table, and the plasma table did, well, put up a fight. It is close to finished. I know I said that before, but stuff happens, like I needed to 3D print some parts, and my 3D printer broke, and I fixed it, and it just broke again. Something else, of course, broke, and waiting for parts just takes a lot of time. And yes, also other stuff. I don't know if you're interested in my private life, but I had to do some stuff around the house. We had some, well, we had a leak from our dishwasher, so that was a not fun. So I have to do stuff for that still. Um, yeah, stuff around the house. Uh, so yeah, that stuff is just had priority. Also, I have a door right here, right now, a garage door. I already installed it last year, but the wall needed to be removed, so I did remove the wall, but I still have to. I These are terminology I normally not use in it English, so I have to really. Um, well, I do need some. Well, it needs to be more pretty. It is now just broken out of there, and yeah, it has to be finished. So that's something I still need to do. Stuff. I needed to do stuff. And of course, it has been a while that I uploaded a video. Yeah, there are just no really projects that I. Maybe people drive their car less often, I think, and cars are just running. So there are no issues with cars in my, well, small selection of people I tolerate, or I must say people that tolerate me. So yeah, and yeah, I of course I can find stuff to do. That's no problem, but that stuff also costs money, and I want to focus my money on other things. And yeah, stuff. Oh well, and because this is my full-time job, I have to prioritize my money, and of course my time also. So I don't know exactly where I left off from the last scene, but I do know we were busy with the floor pan. I do know that I showed you how I pressed. I do know I showed you how I pressed one piece. I already did do another. This is that dropple thing that goes besides it. I can show you the molds for the ones that are interested. This one, and of course the negative or the positive, just and it does its job. I do realize now maybe I should just make a loose video about how I do this. Maybe I can do it with something simple. I have to make something for this hole as well. But as you can see, I already welded in. Well, let me take you a little bit closer. So as you can see, I welded already in that piece. It's not perfect. I need to grind it off a little bit more. And also I do need to hammer and dolly it a bit. It warped a little bit on me, and that's of course completely my fault. But with a hammer and dolly I will get it a lot straighter. But other than that, it looks quite nice. Better than it was, of course. So the next one is of course this one right here. So that's what we're going to do now. I cannot cut through here because there is a flange. There is a flange for that middle section. So I have to be careful with that. I should have cut it smaller and then widen it up because it's moved on me maybe. It doesn't help to cry about it now. These things can really save you with bodywork like this, especially on flat panels like door skins. I do believe they even call door skin or door something clamp. Also, these aren't that expensive. It is something nice to have in the toolbox. It is about as simple as you can get. You put your sheet metal between that. So, you could just put your sheet metal between the little bar and of course the body of the tool, and then clamp it down. And when you're welded together, make it loose. You can remove, of course, this bar, and then you can take the tool off. This of course doesn't help when you have something like a rocker panel. If you want to weld it shut, well, then you cannot get this bar out of there. So then it's not really helpful. Yeah, if you have this in your rocker panel and then no. So now you can just crank it down and you know at least that this is flush. So we're going to do maybe one here on the side, maybe one here on this side. Well, this probably doesn't help because of that flange right here. Of course you can make these yourself, but I do believe for a full pack of 6 or 8 of them, how many do I have? Yeah, I believe I got 8. I do believe I paid, well, maybe 10 euros, something about over $10. Yeah, the euro and dollar are about the same price now. I do believe even that the dollar is now worth more. I don't know if you can see it, but it doesn't align absolutely perfect, but it is really close. So what I'm going to do is just hammer and dolly it a little bit more close to what it is, and then I don't know for sure if I told you already, but these original ones came with a slot right here, and as you can see I don't have that slot in here or even in the other panels. I do believe these slots were used for when assembly, that, well, they probably slotted in with some fingers so that they welded in at the right spot. Of course, we're getting. They didn't plug it. They just went with a coating on the inside, insulation, or how that stuff called, well, dampening stuff on the inside. Water gets in here and stuff starting to rot. So I just don't bother with putting those in there. But if you want really original, yeah, then you have to do that. So I'm taking this really slow. I wait for it to really cool down, and then I do a couple of more spot welds just to prevent warping. Because we have to wait, I am going to make the next section. And as you can see, I need to repair it about here. There is a little bit of a weird concave here, and then it's flat again. So this is flat around here. Then there is a little bit of a weird little bump, and it is, well, it's going from this plane to about this plane. So it's going so, and then it's going concave, and it's going further right here. What I'm going to try to do is make it out of one piece. I do think this concave bit is not going to stop me from forming it. What I first, of course, need to do is just make a straight piece with a flange. And I do think I can hammer in this concave point in it. At least that's what I'm going to try. If that doesn't work, then we figure it out then. How about that? So it's 40 wide, and that lip is 1.5 centimeters, 50.5. Let's make it 60. We can always remove a little bit. So we're going to make a strip out of Syncor, 60 wide and about this long. Yeah, I lost my measuring tape. Those things, I do think if I even buy 1,000, I do think next week I will lose them all. For some reason those things are just one-time use only. Of course we leave it a little bit wider than necessary. And of course longer. In this case I'm using this Syncor. I normally don't like welding this stuff, it warps a lot. That's what I find, but it is a little bit softer, so it's more malleable. So, and this is 1.2 millimeters, so it's a little bit thicker. That helps to keep that warping under control. I have a new tool in the shop, and this is of course a sheet metal folder. It's about a meter wide. I rather would have a one that is 1.5, but this is what I could get for a good price, and it is definitely going to help with the sheet metal stuff that I needed to do, or I need to do. I did repair it a bit because all the bolts were, well, to be honest, they just used too thick material to bend. So these bolts right here and there were just absolutely crooked. And this is one of the better ones. The other one was a lot worse. And I also made a little bit of a tray here, so the sheet metal has a little bit more, has something to rest on. Because I did some bends with 2mm, I have to raise the table again. And now we have a nice bend. What I am going to do is cut off this flange, so I can lay this flat on what I want to mimic. So I can check after some hammering and then check if it is the way I want it to be. Something like that. Well, we were a little bit off. Crown between these 2 points. It is a little bit harsh, as you can see, but that we can smooth out just with a something round. But we need to get a geometry, well, that thing first. And then we can smooth out well, the hard edges. Is it perfect? No. But it is damn close. The only thing, maybe I have still to smooth out this crease. I know there is a gap right here, but I just do not care about it right now. We want to first weld this in, and then we can also, and then we can adjust this this lip. The piece is fitting quite nicely. It's a bit tight, but it's not too bad. I probably need to skim it off just a little bit more. But the transition here is to my liking. But we need to do one thing. There is a ridge right here. And of course we have to recreate it in the panel itself. It was easier to do when the panel was flat, but of course it isn't flat anymore. There is a little lip right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself easier. I'm going to cut this, make that little step, and of course in this lip also that step, and then I'm going to weld it together again, and it will be looking as it was. Well, most of the grinding I have already done. Is it perfect yet? No. It definitely needs some dolly and hammering work. Maybe I'm going to cut this out again and make a new one for this, because it's not sitting very good. But maybe with some hammer and dollying I can get it to acceptable levels. But yeah, other than that, this thing is in there quite good. There is a little bit of a weird bump here, but I do think I can smooth it out with a hammer and dolly. There are some pinholes here and there, but that is what I'm going to do off camera, because I'm not going to bother all of you with a lot of grinding. I also had my new jack points. These are from a BMW, I don't know which one, but these are replaceable pads, and I want to make the mountings, well, something like original, and the original are located somewhere here, I believe. So I'm going to make a little mount, and we'll also put it right there. But of course I have to sort this out first. I'm happy with this. I'm a little bit less happy with this. It is not too bad, but I do think I need to do a little bit more hammering and dollying than I want to. The only thing I need to do now is repair this hole. And there is a little bit of a pinhole right here. How damaged this is, it is not too bad. So I do think if I just make a little bit of a plate for this, then this will be fixed also. And I need to remove the seatbelt mounting plate, because underneath there is also rust. I found it inside of the car. After that is all done, of course, then we can make the new rocker panel. But I do think I'm going to reinforce this with a pipe or something, just because it is open now and future proofing, how you want to call it. I do think the next video is going to be how to make one of these molds, so you can do it yourself. Only need what you, of course, the only thing what you need is a 3D printer, or, well, there are 3D print services that can do it for you. But of course, with that this simple puck that's sitting right here, I think that's a very good little sample to do. So I probably will be, probably that will be the next video. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least learned something from it. And if you did, please give it a like. If you want to follow me around, you know what to do. And I will see you next time. Bye.